done, you're not like, oh, like you don't have that feel in your throat. Like, Jesus.
I'll say this though, when it comes to garden greens, I appreciate and if a lot of y'all don't pay attention to this, because I know most of y'all do not read y'all bags, I appreciate the little tidbit for the radiation free.
Yeah,
For all of us
explain
out
that a
there
little bit.
for all of us out there that know,
Explain that, I mean, all the people watching, explain to them, like, because a lot of people don't, like you said, like, well, I remember when I first heard about it, and I was like, wait, what? Like, explain that, like, the radiation when it comes to some.
There are certain things that, like, you can do in the industry to beat testing when it comes to this, like, the state testing, the way they go about it. State testing only tests for living matter. So, like, for the most part, like, if you send something that fails testing for, like, mold or something like that, it tested for if it was alive. So the reason they put radiation free on the bags is it's a little ghost that, little ghost in the industry. People will radiate the flower that comes back failed from testing. They'll resubmit it, and then now it passes testing. Of course it passed testing this time. Everything is dead that the
they
testing's
just got
looking
rid
for.
of anything that would
But
be
it doesn't
there.
mean that it's not there.
Right, doesn't mean it's
still
not there, and it still went through the grow with that present.
Exactly.
And
Like,
it's going to affect when you consume it.
But that's why, like, companies like Garden Greens will put this on here, and other companies do as well, because, like, I've seen some other ones do it as well. But if you pay attention, and you should with what you're buying, look at who doesn't have those labels. And think about why they might not have those labels. And then buy accordingly. Think of it like buying from Whole Foods. Organic means no pesticides, no radiation, things like that. Great quality.
And that's why certain brands, like certain people look at some prices, like the industry right now, and they see like, oh, Garden Greens, because it is like the topper dollar flower you can, grow. It start getting up to that tier list as far as discouraged. But when you see things like that, that's why you're paying that. You're paying for like that assurance.
You're paying for the quality.
The quality and the assurance of the quality that's being purported to you. Because a lot of people purport quality and then they do things like that they know. I mean, I'm going to say 95% of consumers have no ideas going on.
Yeah, because most people aren't. I won't even say most people who aren't in the industry, because then you have people in the industry who don't know, because
I was one of them.
Most people haven't gotten the chance to either be inside of a grow, or know people who are in these type of environments, and talk to them enough to be like, yeah, like I'm actually interested in knowing what goes on in there, because most people, they just go to work, do their job, they think, oh, I work in a dispensary, it's cool, blah blah blah, but then they don't know anything.
Oh,
they're just there because the job's cool,
exactly.
it's hit, whatever, blah blah.
You get to test and sell weed. It's like, I mean, that's a part of it. But if you don't have the capabilities surrounding the job to also be that personality, that you're
like you have to have a certain level of caring, like
exactly.
Because sometimes you're not just dealing with the average person that's looking to get high. You're looking for people who actually use this for medical reasons, things like that. People who are actually out here like I'm using this to treat X, Y, and Z, or I'm trying to no longer take, X, Y, and Z pills.
Exactly.
I don't want to drink anymore. So when people come to you with these kind of questions, these kind of concerns, they're asking you for your professional opinion.
Exactly.
You should be able to give them an actual professional opinion instead of sit there and be like, I'm kind of just here because the job's fun.
Yeah, you don't just point at the kiosk screen and go, I mean, that moves a lot. It seems people buy that a lot.
Yeah, like,
that's not really what. I was kind of hoping for a little more.
Yeah, like you have to be able to
connection here, a little interaction.
Ask questions, figure out what the customer's looking for.
Like I didn't realize I just walked into the DMV. I thought we were like, it's the whole vibe of the plant is like there's this connectedness that comes to being in the community of it. You know what I mean? So it's like clearly I'm that type of person. I'm trying to get personality out of you in some way.
Exactly, and like the difference between radiation free and not radiation free is like the difference between solventless and non-solventless.
Right. Yeah, it's a big difference, but it's just not marketed that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the difference is just as big. Clean, solvent, organic.
Yeah.
Regular brand.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with regular brand,
No, it's
But,
a lot
you know-
of people rely on that.
but keep it funky for what it is then. Don't market it as such when it shouldn't be in that light.
I agree. This is
Because
why.
it's not just, your average price brands that do that. You have your ones that, try to be a higher tier and do that same exact thing.
Yeah.
So it's no shade, but don't be dishonest about
exactly.
the product.
There's nothing wrong doing it. If everyone's doing it, there's no codified rule against.
Which is the problem that everyone is
If
doing
there's
it.
no codified rule against doing it, then hey, do what you're gonna do. There's
But
no problems for me.
With that being the case, this makes a difference.
Exactly. When they're willing,
And it matters.
When they're willing to have the confidence to go,
To just
yeah.
willingly disclose it. It's like, hey, just we're
And
gonna
it's kinda like
and we're
a
just
bad-
gonna throw this out there, radiation free.
And it's kind of like, in a way, it's like a badge of honor. It's like, no, we got these numbers. We get these numbers this consistently, and we're that good. We think that we don't need to go those roads.